Today I want to talk to you about divorce. Divorce rates have been steadily increasing in Canada since the 1980s, and the current research indicates that since the onset of the COVID-19 health crisis in Canada, those rates have increased by as much as 20% since March of 2020, making the rate of divorce in Canada as high as 60%. Divorce is ranked by the mental health community as being the second highest, most stressful life event, only second to the death of a child. This is related to the typical experiences that one goes through of grief, betrayal, loss of control, uncertainty, and the experiences related to the primary and secondary losses we have in our life when we go through a marital separation and divorce. These experiences can easily cause depression as well as heightened levels of anxiety and anger that can in turn lead to the onset of anxiety attacks, poor self-care, loss of or reduced concentration, memory, and focus, over or under sleeping, over or under eating, self-medicating or isolating, absenteeism from work, or the onset of serious chronic pain or illness symptoms. Most experts estimate that it takes about 2 years from the point of separating to get back on one's feet, even those who are the highest of functioning going into the entire experience. There are typical initial stages of shock and disbelief, even if you're the one who's initiated the separation, just because of the enormity of the loss of control and everything changing. This is usually followed in the uncoupling process by a stage of independent decision making, where partners begin to make independent decisions without consulting or reaching full agreement with their ex-partner as part of the strengthening process. This is commonly followed by a stage of deeper grief. Oftentimes people at this stage will feel like they're going backwards or that they haven't made any progress, that they're back to square one. But it's actually a really healthy stage. The reality has set in and the secondary losses are usually getting felt in a bigger way, including changes to finances or living arrangements or reduced time if there are children in the family. This deeper experience of grief helps us get connected to the real story of what happened between you and your partner. Finding a way to neutralize the grief at this stage to relieve or release yourself from any shame or blame can be incredibly powerful and will take you to the final stage of the grief process, which is about integrating the loss so that your new life can begin. So in my experience, ramping up self-care in those initial stages is critical, as is ensuring that you have clear and specific strategies on how to manage the increase in negative symptoms that you're noticing. And finally, using that final stage to regrieve, as I said, so you can release yourself from the negative emotions that commonly accompany the separation process and experience. You can begin to identify what the hidden lessons or messages may have been for you all along in what you're going through, so that it can ultimately move you forward in your life and not cause you or lead you towards repeating negative relationship patterns that will continue to make you unhappy. Thanks for listening.